Okay, let's give you guys a reverse percentage problem. So here you've got a bank. You put this much amount of money in the bank. After 8 years, you will have this much. How much interest did the bank give you each year? So it's being compounded. Okay, so press pause and have a go. Okay, so the first thing to do is to draw a diagram just to get a sense of what's going on. So at the start of the year, you put this much amount of money, and then at the end of year one, at the end of the year, the bank gives you this much of an interest. So for example, let's just imagine the bank gives you 9% interest. Then this figure here would be 1.09. So you would get this times this, and whatever figure this gives you, then that represents the amount of money at the end of year one. But we are trying to figure out this amount. So just simply get this times this. That will then give you this. So that's this thing here represents the amount of money in your bank account at the end of year one. And then at the start of the year, at the start of next year, this becomes your new 100%. And then at the end of year two, then the bank's going to give you this much interest. So you would get this times this. So that would then give you 575x squared, because you've got three things here being multiplied together. So merge these two together, that will give you x squared. And then at the start of year three, this becomes your new 100%. And then at the end of year three, then the bank's going to give you an extra bit of an interest. So you would get this thing times this thing. That will then give you 575x to the power of 3. And then it's going to be dot, dot, dot. So at the start of year 8, you have this much. And then at the end of year 8, the bank's going to give you an extra bit of interest, so you would get this times this to give you this. Notice that this is always one less. So this is 2, this is 3, and then this here is 3 and 3. So if you look at this, 8 and 8, and this thing here is always one less than this. Well, anyway, whatever it is, this thing here represents the total amount of money you have at the end of year 8. So you can put it into an equation. Set that thing to be 938, because you're told in the question that at the end of year 8 you will have this much amount of money. So put it into an equation, work backwards to find out this figure here. Once you can figure out this this number, then you can work out the percentage that the bank is giving you. So it's just a matter of working out x. So at the moment you've got one thing times another thing equals this thing here. So you want to get x on its own. So divide both sides by this, and then take the 8th root of both sides. That will then give you this. But on your calculator might not be able to compute this. So remember, square root of x is the same as x to the power of a half. The cube root of x is the same as x to the power of a third. Well, the 8th root is going to be something to the power of 1/8. So punch this into your calculator. So punch this into your calculator. It will give you this number here. So what that means is that number there is this number here. So you can see that the bank is giving you 6% and a tiny bit. So it turns out to be 6.3% interest. So what that means is the bank is giving you 6.3% interest each year. And if you compound it over 8 years, it will give you this at the end of the 8 years. Okay.